All right, hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about skates. Now I want to start by saying I am not going to be promoting a certain kind, a certain brand or anything like that, and I will get to that, why I'm not doing that, a little bit later in the video. So why should you listen to me? Well, I started hockey about 2 years ago. And when I started playing hockey, it was around Thanksgiving. Black Friday was coming up, so I thought, I'm going to go see if there's any Black Friday deals. I didn't know anything about gear. So I just went to a local sports equipment store and just tried on a bunch of skates. And by a bunch, I mean one brand, because that's all they had. That was maybe $50. So I purchased that pair of skates for $50, and that's what I used for the first year or so that I was learning how to skate. I think that was a great option. I think it was the Bauer NS or NSX skates. Like I said, they were only $50, and when you're just learning out how to skate, if you're like me and you're not sure you're going to be able to afford or continue to play, I think buying a pair of $50 skates is great. As I continued to play the sport, got a little better. One thing I noticed, and this was probably just me learning how to skate and trust myself too, but the skates were not comfortable and my feet were hurting quite a bit. So I had been about a year into skating. Like I said, I decided I think I want to upgrade my skates to something that'll maybe last a little longer. So I started researching skates, and here are some things I want to point out that I was looking for, what I did for research, and how I ultimately ended up getting this pair of skates right here. All right, so as you can see, I have the Bauer Supreme 3S skates. The first thing that I started looking at, and I actually knew that I wanted, was this trigger right here. And what that allows you to do is you press this trigger and it allows you to change your steel. And I knew I wanted this option because I knew when I was buying a pair of skates or upgrading them, I wanted these to be more longer term skates. So I knew I wanted that to be an option because I wanted to skate a lot. And that way, at least, this would allow me to change out my steel if I needed to. So I knew that was something I wanted to get. So that kind of automatically puts you into a certain price range. I think the minimum price point for having a skate that has a trigger or release blade is probably no less than $100. So I knew I was going to be shelling out some money for a nicer pair of skates. Other than that, I just really wanted them to be comfortable and I wanted them to last a long time. So I started looking up some brands, and when I initially tried on those $50 skates, the junior size 5s were the one that I went with. And like I said, my feet were kind of hurting, cramping up throughout the time. So I thought, this is going to be a big investment, and skates are a big investment, and for good reason. This is an important piece of equipment. I thought I better go to a hockey store and get my feet analyzed and just see what their recommendations are and go from there. So this is why I am not going to be recommending a certain brand, a certain style, or anything like that. This is probably one of, or if not the most important piece of equipment you can buy, especially if you're going to be playing hockey long term. So what I would highly recommend for you is go to your local hockey store, and for me that was Pure Hockey. And what they do is they have these machines that can scan your feet, and basically what it does is it gives the rep some different brands and sizes that they think will fit to your feet. And everyone's feet are different, right? So this is why, the Bauer Supremes work for me, but Schmo Joe watching this video here, you might have, you know, some different shaped feet than I will, and the Bauers might feel terrible for you. So please, 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 if you're going to be trying on some skates and you're wanting to upgrade, go to your local store, get your feet scanned. That is the first step. So I got my feet scanned, and they were telling me that a size 6 was actually what I needed, and I thought, okay, I've been wearing size 5, maybe that was my problem. So I tried on probably 5 or 6 different brands, 5 or 6 different styles of skate, and, you know, got a good idea of what I was looking at. Some I liked better than others, some were more comfortable than others. There were different things that I liked and didn't like. For example, parts of some skates would push into my foot awkwardly, and I knew that would be a problem, and other ones would feel pretty comfortable. Sometimes the toe box was small, sometimes that was bigger, and comfortable for me. So I kind of had a better idea of what I was going with. So I left, I had a good idea, had like a top 3. So I went home, thought about it some more, came back, and before I tell you what happened when I went back for the second time, let me just go over. You can see here, it says, maybe you can see, maybe you can't, it says fit 1. And so what that has to do is the boot size. And if you're unfamiliar with this, Bauer has a certain class, I guess you could call it, and the other skates have this as well. They just might not call it fit 1, fit 2, but for Bauer there's fit 1, fit 2, fit 3. Basically what this means, and anyone in the comments, please correct me if I'm saying this wrong, but this is what the rep had told me and what I understand it to be. Fit 1 basically is a narrower boot. Fit 2 is obviously a larger boot, and then a fit 3 would be a pretty wide boot. Another important aspect to mention in regards to parts of the boot that are maybe pushing into your feet in an awkward way, just know that there's a part of the skate purchasing process, I guess you could say, called baking your skates. And mostly this depends on the skate also, but for mine it mostly will shape the boot to the back part of your heel. So if you're having problems in this toe box or the upper part of your skate, likely that will not be fixed. So you really need to put on those skates, walk around in them, and really get a feel, you know, is this pushing in? You know, if I see myself on the ice and I know this is going to be a problem, just know that baking your skates is probably not going to get rid of it. Okay, so thought about it for a little bit, had my eyes set on Bauer Vapor X 2.9s, I believe, in like 5.5 or 6. Fit 2, I think it was, or something. It was not these. So I went back in, had a different rep. He scanned my feet again and recommended these skates. So I went between these and the Bauer Vapor X 2.9s, and ultimately I decided on these, the Bauer Supreme 3S skates. Now these were a larger price point than I was going into, and that was a factor in what I was looking for as well. I believe these skates were $250, I want to say, that's US dollars. But I was willing to go over my budget a little bit, knowing that these were a little bit more comfortable than the X 2.9s for me personally, and knowing that this had everything I wanted in a skate, was comfortable, and that it would last me a little longer. Now, if $250 is still out of your budget, you can buy some pretty decent skates for $150, $200, you know, less than that for sure. And if you have a little bit more money, you know, the higher in price, the quote-unquote better the quality. Mostly what I've come to understand with that is there's a little bit more cushion inside of the skates. And then there's also, I know that CCM and True do total custom skates. I'm not sure if Bauer does, but what they do is a more detailed scan of your feet, and they create a boot that's perfectly custom to your foot itself. Now I believe those are more up in the price range of like $1,000 US. That's a little pricey for me considering I'm a recreational hockey player who's only 2 years into her beer league career. But you know, that's an option for people who are willing to spend a little bit more money. And like I said, your skates are, I'm gonna say, one of the most important pieces of your gear other than your helmet. So it's worth spending a little bit more money on these hockey skates, because if you're not comfortable in your skates, hockey's just not going to be enjoyable for you. I know, and this is probably going to depend on the company or the store that you buy them from. Pure Hockey did offer me a certain trial period that after baking the skates, if I didn't like them, I could return them. I want to say that was maybe a week or two. I could be totally wrong on that. Like I said, I bought these maybe 9 months ago, so it's been quite a while. But I'm really happy with these skates, and I don't think I would be as happy with these skates at all if I hadn't done my research, thought about what I wanted in a skate, made a budget for myself, gone into the store, told them what I'm looking for, had my feet scanned, tried a bunch on, and come home, thought about that more, and gone back into the store to try them on one more time before actually purchasing them. So those are my recommendations for you guys. This is just my personal experience, having no one really to guide me. So I hope that this has been an informational video for you guys if you're relatively new to the sport, or you're like me, you're into the sport looking to upgrade your skates a little bit, not really sure how to go about it. And that's what I would recommend for you. So if you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to my channel, give it a like, share with all your friends. Let me know what you enjoyed about it or what you would like to see in the future. I've got a lot of great ideas coming up, and I'm really excited to share it with all you guys. I have really had a great opportunity to do some different things with hockey lately, and I'm hoping that I can continue to give you guys a variety. So with that, I will just say thank you so much for your support, and I'll see you in the next video.